let's have a look at what's going on the euro currencies. So euro dollar, and again, visited this time and time again. The euro dollar consolidating inside the pink lines. And for that reason, you do not want to be trading it. It's just, it makes absolutely no sense that private traders are fixated with the euro dollar. Here is the last time that we traded the euro dollar, and you can see a nice clean trend to the downside. This is why the monthly chart is really, really useful, because it really shows you trend structure and the size of trends. Look at this trend to the upside, then a correction, another trend to the upside, trend. And you know, this movement, this sideways movement, this isn't a consolidation, but it's a wide consolidation in which trends will develop, and there are trends that we can take advantage of. If it's a narrow range, for example, if you look at this area here, it's quite a narrow range for a consolidation. This is not really the environment you want to get caught up in. Whereas here, you've got significant sizes where significant width to the range. So trends will develop inside this range. But currently, and this is another example, you want to be standing aside from this particular area of consolidation. It's messy, it's choppy. If it breaks below this low, then we could see the figure 1 targeted, 0.9 targeted, 0.8 targeted, which is around the 2000 low, 0.7, 0.6. Remember, round numbers act as very good levels that price likes to move towards. If you aren't familiar with round numbers, I don't know how many new people there are in here. If you're unfamiliar with round numbers are every 1,000 pips. I did a whole webinar on this. I think it should be in the archives for FX Street. If you look at, take this high point here, 1.6. If you take these two peaks here, 1.5. If you take this reversal point here, 1.4. If you look at this whole floor around here, 1.2. If you look at where price is currently consolidating, 1.1. Okay, so you can see how significant round numbers are. They are every 1,000 pips. So when let's say price breaks out to the downside, I would expect price to move to the figure 1. This is a major support level, right? The figure 1 is a major support level. So at this point here, price could bounce to the upside. But as a trend would be bearish, I would favor a break to the downside. Of course, we need to see price dictate that. If it does break through, then I would want price to move towards 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6. These are my levels, and then ultimately 0.5. Now, weekly time frame, below the weekly 200, so we have a bearish bias in and around the 50 moving average, very much in an area of consolidation. Daily time frame above the daily 200 and 50 moving average, just sidewinding. What is this all in all telling us? We are slap bang in the middle of a consolidation. This is a trend, and you can tell it's a trend because of how it was trading below the 50 moving average. And look at the angle to the 200 moving average. That is a bearish trend. This is just a consolidation. Okay, now what I wanted to also highlight here is this bar right here, this big red bar. Now this is because of the result. This is because of the result from Brexit. What I wanted to highlight here, guys, is how price broke through the 200 moving average, which is this black line, broke through 1.1 round number, which is a support level. And the bulls came in and pushed price back above the 200 moving average, showing how significant technical levels are. And we can see this across the board. We can see how significant technical levels are when it came to the release of Brexit, okay? So the euro dollar, not something that I'm particularly interested in at all until it starts breaking out. Let's have a look at the euro pound. Okay, so we had price move to the upside, came towards 0.80. We had a correction to the downside, and since then we've had another big move up. Now, of course, look at the size of this bar. That is because of Brexit, a significant move to the upside, taking price through the high, giving price a bullish bias, taking price above this support level, resistance level, which is now support, through the pivot of the month of April, through the pivot high of the month of April, and the round number 0.80. So all of these levels now, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 levels, these are all acting as support levels. What we'd now like to see is further momentum to the upside and for price to move towards 0.90. If it clears this level, then the figure 1. And we can see that price has been near that level previous. Okay, now if we look at the weekly time frame, price is trading above the weekly 200 moving average. If you guys remember, how significant that 200 moving average was, price was struggling to break through it. Price has taken Brexit. The result of Brexit took price crashing through the weekly 200, and we're now seeing further strength to the upside. If we look at the daily, price came to the 200 moving average support zone, and again you can see significant level, and this is where price bounced to the upside, took price through all of these levels. Now what is happening, we're starting to see a correction back down to this pivot level here. Now what we're looking for really is a correction and a break and a close above this level. This will suggest a continuation of the bull trend.